Okay, good day, Medtex. So, before we dive into this material, which is your acid-base chemistry, which is also the final topic of our inorganic chemistry, syempre, I want to take a brief moment muna to check in with everyone. I know that there's just been a lot of on everyone's minds lately, no? Marami kayong inisip. And the heavy news can weigh on us in ways we don't always realize right away. Alam naman natin kung gaano kabigat at ka-demanding yung program na kinuha niya, which is the MedTech. The sheer volume ng theories, yung precision of the concepts, and the cognitive load, they are all no joke. And of course, expectations are high of being one of an allied medical courses, no? So, dapat talaga standard is that really high. And of course, no one expects this program to be easy. Pero please remember, your number one patient is always yourselves. No? Kayo yung pinakauna niyong pasyente. Your health and well-being must always comes first. If ever na, or kung nararamdaman nyo na di na okay yung physical or mental state nyo, please don't force yourselves to the point of breaking. Remember that. Um, do not suffer in silence. And please do not hesitate to reach out to the people around you kung if possible, no? Such as yung mga classmates nyo, your instructors, professors, your family, friends, program chair, dean, or even our guidance office, no? Marami naman. And another thing na I want you to think about is taking a step back doesn't mean na nag-give up na kayo or pinabababayaan nyo na yung mga academic responsibilities nyo. It just means na you recognize when you need support so you can come back with a clearer and healthier mind. Alam nyo, this program takes real-time effort and discipline. But you don't have to carry that weight entirely alone. We are all here to help you navigate it. Tandaan nyo. Okay? So please, again, if you're not capable right now, you can turn off the video and just watch it in the future or in the next few days pag okay ka na. Okay? So, our topic is the acid-base theories. Okay? So, this is the first part, no? So, we have three theories na i-discuss. The Arrhenius, Bronsted-Lowry, and the Lewis acid-base theories. Most of you during the acid-base experiment, no, chinek ko na yung mga questions for research, and most of you answered the definition of acids and base based on a single theory, okay? Which is yung pinakauna, Arrhenius, okay? So in Arrhenius, please take note, no, emphasis on this part, aqueous solvent or in aqueous solutions. Aqueous. Sorry medyo naka-mouse ako O yan. Okay. So pag sinabing Arrhenius, or when we say Arrhenius, the main focus is in an aqueous solution. What does it mean? Ibig sabihin, all the compounds, when we talk about Arrhenius, okay, ang lagi involved is we put them in water, in an aqueous solutions. That's why you would always notice na laging involved ang water sa Arrhenius theory. So, ano bang ibig sabihin pag Arrhenius acid? So that's what you answered in your questions for research in the experiment, no? Sabi nyo, an arrhenius acid is an is a substance that generates or releases hydronium ions, no? Or mataas yung rinirelease niyang hydronium ions, yan, H3O, or hydrogen ion. Okay, so those are just the same, no? In an aqueous solution. So, ibig sabihin, these compounds daw, pag linagay mo sa tubig, when you put them in an aqueous solution, the product or the product that will be produced would generate high amounts of hydronium ions or hydrogen ions. So that is your Arrhenius acid. When you say Arrhenius base, on the other hand, it's just the same thing. When you put it in an aqueous solution or in water, instead of hydronium ions or hydrogen ions, it would then, in contrast, would produce hydroxide ions. No? Mataas na hydroxide ions. Yan. So, therefore, yung example 1, hydrochloric acid in an aqueous solution produced hydronium ions and chlorine ion. No? So, take a look. Anong produce niya? Hydronium. Meaning, this is a Arrhenius acid. And for the second um, example, sodium hydroxide in an aqueous, sorry, mali yan, dapat AQ, in an aqueous solution or NaOH plus water, ang na-produce niya ay sodium hydroxide plus water. Ayan. Singit lang natin. Ayan. Therefore, since it produced an hydroxide ion, it is now considered as an Arrhenius base. Okay? Ulitin natin. For the definition of our Arrhenius acid, it generates in an aqueous solution. These compounds would generate or produce hydronium ions or pwede ring hydrogen ions. Whereas when we talk about Arrhenius base, when you put this compound in water or in an aqueous solution, they would generate or produce hydroxide ions. So that is your Arrhenius theory. Next is the Bronsted-Lowry theory. So on the other hand, ito mas simple to. A Bronsted-Lowry acid, okay, is considered as a proton donor. Okay, please remember that. And when you talk about proton in the context of the Bronsted-Lowry theory, we are always talking about the hydrogen ions. Okay? So, ano daw ginagawa ng Bronsted-Lowry acid? Nag-donate, namimigay ng proton, which is your hydrogen ions. Okay? Whereas your Bronsted-Lowry base, siya naman ay tinatawag na proton acceptor or proton recipient. No? Those are just the same. Recipient. Okay? So, tumatanggap ng hydrogen ions. Ulitin ko. When you say Bronsted-Lowry acid, it's your proton donor. Namimigay ng hydrogen. Ayon. Kapag naman Bronsted-Lowry base, it's your proton recipient or proton acceptor. Siya yung tatanggap ng hydrogen ion. Now, look at your example number 1. So, sino sa tingin nyo ang Bronsted-Lowry acid? So, you look. This is your ammonia and water. So, anong nangyari sa ammonia sa product side? So, naging siyang from NH3, naging siyang NH4. Yung water, naging hydroxide. So, sino sa dalawang to yung namigay ng hydrogen? So, tama kayo. It's your water. Therefore, water is now considered as your Bronsted-Lowry acid. Sino naman yung nakatanggap ng uh, ng hydrogen ion or ng proton? And looking at the product, sino yung nakatanggap? That's your ammonium. From ammonia, naging siyang ammonium. So, tawag natin dito is your Bronsted-Lowry base. Okay? Next, for the example number 2, look at it. Tingnan natin. So, you have your HNO2, citric acid, and your water. Again, you look at the product side. Sino yung nagbigay ng hydrogen or nabawasan ng hydrogen, no? And sino yung nakatanggap ng hydrogen? Okay? So, this one, HNO2, naging siyang NO2. Yung H2O, naging H3O. So, therefore, sino yung nawalan? It's your HNO2 kasi naging siyang NO2. So, this is your Bronsted-Lowry acid. Since pinamigay niya yung hydrogen niya. Di ba? Therefore, yung isa, nakatanggap ng hydrogen from 2, naging 3. So, this is your Bronsted-Lowry base. Okay? Please remember that. And by the way, no? So, since this will be the first time that you will see it, ang tawag dito is your reversible reaction. Reversible reaction. Therefore, it is a both forward and backward reaction. So, tuloy-tuloy nangyayari yung chemical reaction na yan up until ma-reach nila yung tinatawag na chemical equilibrium. Okay? Now, later, we'll go back to the Bronsted-Lowry theory topic, no? Kasi dadagdagan natin yan. Hindi lang Bronsted-Lowry acid and Bronsted-Lowry base. Meron din tayong tinatawag na conjugate acids and conjugate base. So later, we'll go back there. Again, just a quick review. Pag sinabing Arrhenius, ang key terms dito would be in an aqueous solutions. Pag nasa tubig, okay? Ang acid, kung nilagay mo daw sa tubig, mag-generate ng hydronium ions or hydrogen ions. Kapag naman Arrhenius base, nilagay mo sa tubig, it would generate hydroxide ions. On the other hand, pag sinabing Bronsted-Lowry, our main focus would be the proton. Proton, we're talking about the hydrogen ions. Kapag ito ay isang hydrogen ion donor or nagdo-donate, namimigay, that's your Bronsted-Lowry acid. Pag naman proton or hydrogen ion recipient or acceptor, tumatanggap, that's your Bronsted-Lowry base. Okay? So next, this is an example of your general picture for your Arrhenius acids. Again, in an aqueous solution, hydrogen ions or hydronium. Pwede rin hydronium. And kapag naman Arrhenius base, in an aqueous solution, magpo-produce ng hydroxide ions. Okay? So this one naman is your Bronsted-Lowry acid-base reaction. So again, pag donor ng hydrogen ion or ng proton, that is your Bronsted-Lowry acid. If wala siyang or tawag dito, hindi naman technically wala eh. Kung kulang pa siya ng hydrogen ion, no? Tapos nabibigyan siya sa kabila, then that's your Bronsted-Lowry base. Okay? Now, we have what we call conjugates. So, later meron tayong discussion dyan, pero sabihan na natin dito para mabilisan na lang. So, we have what we call conjugate pair, no? Or pares. Conjugate pair. So, yung Bronsted-Lowry acid, no? Meron siya proton. May isang proton siya. And then that particular proton is nawala. So this is the original, and then ito yung nawala. Ang tawag dun sa partner ng Bronsted-Lowry acid is your conjugate base. Okay? So these are conjugate pairs, no? Tandaan niyo yan. Ulitin ko, Bronsted-Lowry acid is your proton donor, mamimigay. Ibig sabihin, sa kabila, mababawasan yung hydrogen ion niya. Okay? Now, what happened sa kabila? So, nabawasan or nawala yung hydrogen ion niya. Therefore, that is your conjugate base. Okay? Next. Originally, this is your base. Either wala siyang hydrogen ion or proton or kulang siya. So, if you look at the kabila, nadagdagan yung proton niya or nagkaroon siya ng proton or ng hydrogen ion. Therefore, ang tawag natin doon is your conjugate acid. Again, both of this is the conjugate pair. Okay? Please remember that, no? Bronsted-Lowry acid, donor. Pag nawalan siya sa kabila, on the product side, that is your conjugate base. Bronsted-Lowry base, makakatanggap, so that's your recipient. Sa kabila, natanggap niya na, then that is the conjugate acid. Okay? And the third theory is your Lewis theory, or in other books, they would say Lewis coordination theory. In this particular theory, hindi tayo mag-delve deeper kasi it's a bit more, what you say, a broad, no? It's considered as the broadest theory nga no? Kasi it does not require a proton, even water, no? Hindi siya nangangailangan. And it's more focused on electron pairs. Okay? So, dito, I just want you to be familiar with the terminologies or the definition of each. No? So, for example, a Lewis acid is an electron pair acceptor. Ayan. Tandaan nyo yan, no? Ayan na yan. Electron pair. It must have an empty orbital available, of course, para makareceive siya ng electrons. For example, yung mga metal cations such as copper or yung mga molecules na nagkukulang ng electrons such as boron trifluoride. Ayan, ito yung mga examples natin. And for Lewis base, kabaliktaran lang, since this is an acceptor, dito, donor, electron pair donor. Okay? So, it possesses at least one unshared lone pairs of non-bonding electrons available for covalent coordination, such as your ammonia, tsaka water. So, again, pag sinabing Lewis theory, tandaan nyo lang yung definition. Okay na tayo. Okay? So, sa tingin ninyo, since we have already finished the three theories of acid base, which do you think is the one most relevant to the medtech program? No? Since sa tatlong yan, yung foundational knowledge is magagamit nyo hanggang second sem sa ANACHEM, hanggang third year sa clinical chemistry, and even hanggang board exam. Sino kaya? And you're correct. That is your Bronsted-Lowry theory. Okay? So, yun yung magiging parang pinaka-pundasyon. That's the main foundation of our future topics. Okay? So again, here are some other examples for your conjugate acid-base pairs. No? So it would always consist of two substances but differ by a single proton. No? Yung Bronsted-Lowry acid, ang conjugate pair niya is yung conjugate base. In contrast, yung Bronsted-Lowry base, ang partner niya is your conjugate acid. Just look at this, no? Acid to base, subtract 1 proton. Base to conjugate acid, add 1 proton. So, ayan. These are examples. So, pwede nyo i-take note para pag nakita nyo yan sa exams, it's very easy for you to just uh, dito to identify which is which, diba? So, by the way, ito po yung ginamit nyo um, during the experiment, no? Ayan, yung mga yan. So, this is your ammonium. This is your ammonia. This is your acetic acid. This is your acetate. Okay? So, yung mga yan, be familiar, no? Sa mga pangalan nila. Okay, next. So, ito is just the same thing with the previous one. Just main focus is with the base, no? So, sige, I'll give you an example and then you try to answer it. Pause nyo yung video and then you try to answer it. No? So, H2CO3 plus water. Ay, sorry mouse kasi talaga eh. Tapos, reversible reaction, HCO3, and then hydronium. Ayan. So, try to identify which is the Bronsted-Lowry acid, Bronsted-Lowry base, conjugate acid, conjugate base. Okay? Sige. Try nyo. Okay, next. You have your NH3 plus H3O and H4 plus water. Okay? So, sa una, sino po ang ating conjugate, Bronsted-Lowry acid? Okay? The correct answer is sila. Sa tingin nyo. Sige, kayo muna. You try to answer it. And the answer is this one. This is your conjugate. Sorry. Ay, nalilito ako. Bronsted-Lowry acid. Sino yung Bronsted-Lowry base? This one. This is your Bronsted-Lowry base. So, sino yung conjugate pair nito? This one. So, this is your conjugate base. And this was the base. This is the conjugate acid. Okay, next. Sa second example naman, sino yung Bronsted-Lowry acid and sino yung Bronsted-Lowry base? Sige. Very good. This one is your Bronsted-Lowry acid. Then this one is the conjugate base. Okay, di ba? Madali lang. You just look at the hydrogen ion, no? Yung proton. So, ganun lang ang kadali. Okay. Auxiliary base and conjugate acid. Okay. So, during your quizzes and exams, I might ask questions na just to identify which is which. So, parang ganun lang. Okay. So, be ready. Next. So, these are conjugate pairs naman in action. So, in any acid-base reaction, there are two distinct conjugate acid-base pairs operating simultaneously to achieve what we call chemical equilibrium. Now, kapag pinag-uusapan ng chemical equilibrium, talagang tatamaan ang acid-base reactions. However, the topic of chemical equilibrium, specifically yung mga constants, no? Equilibrium constants. Ang madidiscuss yan during your second semester under analytical chemistry. Okay? So, right now, yung mga basics muna yung pag-aaralan natin. Okay? So, ayan. As you can see, this is an example of your pairs. So, you have your acetic acid. Ang partner niya is the acetate. And ito yung ammonia. Ang partner niya is ammonia. Next, this one, you have your dihydrogen phosphate or phosphoric acid. No? Dihydrogen phosphate. Ang partner niya is the phosphoric acid. And yung water as the base, ang partner niya is the hydronium ion. Okay? So, ganun lang yan. Next is when we talk about amphiprotic and amphoteric species. Now, para padaliin yung buhay nyo, laging pinag-usapan dito is water. So, sometimes meron tayong ibang compounds involved. However, most of the times, no, we're talking about water. Okay? Pag sinabing amphoteric, these are compounds that can react as both acids and bases. So, mas vague or mas broad yung terminology na to. Okay? Amphoteric. Okay? So, any compounds that can react both as acids or bases. Pag sinabi namang amphiprotic, no, is another subset that specifically can either donate or accept protons. So, pag sinabing amphiprotic po, pumapasok na dito yung Bronsted-Lowry theory. Okay? So, we look at the two examples here. As you can see, this is bicarbonate. Anong nangyari sa kanya sa reactant? Nawalan siya ng hydrogen ion. Therefore, it acts as an acid, a Bronsted-Lowry acid. On the example 2, this is your bicarbonate. Anong nangyari sa kanya? Nag-accept siya. No? It became an proton recipient. Therefore, it is a base, a Bronsted-Lowry base. Now, kung babalik na rin natin yung chemical reaction since it is a reversible, no? Tignan nyo ngayon yung water. So, water, ano nangyari sa kanya dito? Nawalan siya ng hydrogen. Kabaliktaran, no? Baliktad tayo. So, if the reaction is baliktad, ito yung reactant, yung product yung nasa left, then this is now considered as a Bronsted-Lowry acid. On the other hand, dito naman. So, yung water, ano nangyari? Nadagdagan. Okay? It gained or it accepted a proton. No? So, kung babalik na rin natin yung chemical reaction, if this is the reactant side, then water is now considered as a Bronsted-Lowry base. Okay? So, ganun po yun. So, amphiprotic can react as both acids and bases. Amphiprotic is the two pause. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Amphiprotic, if those compounds can either be considered as a Bronsted-Lowry acid or Bronsted-Lowry base. Kapag naman amphoteric, okay, so any compounds or any substance that can react as either an acid or a base. Next is ionization and dissociation. Pag sinabing ionization, these are reaction of molecular compounds or any substances na ang original or ang kanilang mga on the chemical reaction, wala kang makikitang metals. They are all non-metals or puro polyatomic ions. No? So, ganun lang siya. Substance with a solvent to form brand new ions that were not originally present in the starting material. Okay, please, huwag kayong papalito. No? So, ang product nito is ions. So, ano yung mga original reactants? So, they are all molecular or covalent compounds. So, it involves covalent bond cleavage, commonly seen in molecular gases and weak organic acids, and highly dependent on solvent polarizability. Okay? Next, we have also dissociation. On the other hand, kapag sinabing dissociation, ang mga reactants natin are usually ionic in origin. Therefore, these are your metal plus non-metal na compounds, no? Hindi, ano yan. Ito, puro non-metal. Yan. Tapos, yung kanilang products are ions. Ito naman, metal and non-metal, ang product nila, mga dissociated compounds or dissociated elements. No? Again, ionization, molecular compounds or covalent substances. Dissociation, these are your ionic compounds or ionic uh, um, ionic structures. No? So no new ions are chemically synthesized. Separation of a solid lattice, commonly seen in salts and inorganic bases, and driven by ion to dipole hydration interactions. So here example of your chemical equations of ionization. So madali lang tong identify guys, no? If you see no metal, no, wala kang makikitang metal. These are all non-metals. Then therefore, it is an ionization. No? So yan, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. Walang metals. Next, you have your carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Walang metals. Okay? By the way, this is what we call a strong acid ionization. Okay? Kasi there's a complete ionization na nangyayari. Okay? Kumbaga, walang natirang nitric acid na ubos yung hydrogen or yung proton na nitric acid. On the other hand, this is your acetic acid. This is considered as weak acid. Bakit? Kasi may naiwan pang proton. No? Ayan, CH3CeOOH. So, ano lang yung natanggal? Yung hydrogen or yung proton sa dulo. No? Meron pa rin siyang tatlong hydrogen na natira. So, hindi kompleto. No? So, this is weak acid ionization. On the other hand, pag dissociation, again, it involves ions. No? So, ayan. So, may metal tayo. So, yung metal mo, that's your sodium. No? On the other hand, this is your calcium hydroxide. So, nasan yung metal mo? You have your calcium. Diba? So, ganun lang kasimple guys. When you say dissociation, like, I believe this will also be discussed during our post-lab in the acid-base experiment, no? Specifically dun sa salt hydrolysis. Yan. Dissociation po yan. Okay? Ulitin ko, pag ionic, ionization, molecular compounds. Pag dissociation, ionic compounds. Kayong papalito. The next topic is about acid proticity classification. Ito guys, you just look at the number of proton or number of hydrogen present on a given compound. And then, ganun lang. Tapos, check mo na yung prefix. So, mono, isa. Di, dalawa. Tri, tatlo. Okay? So, monoprotic, ibig sabihin, isang hydrogen. Diprotic, dalawa. Triprotic, tatlo. Ganun lang kasimple guys, no? Huwag na kayong pagpapahirap dyan. Ganun lang siya kasimple. Okay? Next. Next is the equilibrium kinetics and strength. By the way, pag nakita nyo yung letter K, that means constant. Huh? But again, these are all topics that will be discussed during your chemical equilibrium topic during your analytical chemistry. Okay? So, pag napasa nyo na ang introduction to inorganic and organic chemistry, then this will be one of your main topics, no? Equilibrium, chemical equilibrium. And this involves complex mathematics calculation. Okay? So, just familiarize with strong acids, uh, weak acids, strong base, weak base, their ionization, terminologies, and yun lang. No? And that's it. Part 2 of our topic is the pH, pOH, and some computations. You may now get your calculator, or if you want to take a break, just pause the video, just take a break. Pero this will now involve calculations. So, be ready. Pero simple lang naman, they are not that too complex. Okay? So, if you're ready, we'll start. First, before we proceed on the computation, kailangan malaman nyo muna yung basis of pH. And that is the auto-ionization of water. Or in other books, they would say auto-protolysis. Okay. Since you have already taken up your PMLS1, you are currently taking your PMLS1, one of the topic is yung mga prefixes and suffixes. So what does it mean kapag auto? It means self, no? Or sarili. So self-ionization of water din to, no? Lysis means destruction. So yung sarili niya, dinedestruct niya yung sarili niya. No, continuous na nangyayari. So, water reacting with water, nagpo-produce ng something. Okay? And when we say KW, that is the self-ionization constant of water, it would always be H3O multiplied by your hydrogen or hydronium ions multiplied by your hydroxide. And ang result nila would always be on a 25 degrees Celsius or in room temperature, ang result nila would always be 1 times 10 raised to negative 14. Now, going to ask you a question. Ano po ang maximum na pH when you are checking your pH strip? Naalala nyo ba? It was 0 to 14. Uy, 14. Ito din yon. So, that is the basis. And now, sir, water yan. Yes, that's water. However, it is formed or ang basis niya is because of your hydronium and hydroxide ions. Therefore, sa isang water, ang laman ng hydronium ions is 50% and 50% ng hydroxide. Therefore, it's 1.0 times 10 raised to negative 7. And ang hydroxide is 1.0 times 10 raised to negative 7. Uy, ano na naman nakita nyo? 7. Ano po kasi yung pH of water? it is 7. Di ba? So that is the main basis. Ibig sabihin, yung laman na hydrogen ion or hydronium ion ng water is 7 because of this one. Uy, ano kasi yung pOH ng water? It is 7. It's neutral. Because yung laman daw na hydroxide ion concentration ng water is 7. Okay? Just remember that. And pag pinagsama mo, that's self-ionization of water is 1 times 10 raised to negative 40. Okay? So, paano nangyayari yung self-ionization or autoprotolysis? Now, we look at this one. So, this is your water reacting with water. Now, applying yung ating Bronsted-Lowry theory, anong nangyayari? Yung isang hydrogen or yung isang water would donate the proton. So, yung isa, naging siyang H3O, hydronium ion. Whereas the other one, nawalan ng hydrogen or ng proton. Therefore, it became hydroxide ion. So, meron ka ng Bronsted-Lowry acid and the conjugate base. Okay? And you have your Bronsted-Lowry base and the conjugate acid. Okay? So, ganun lang siyang simple. Ayan. Bronsted-Lowry base, Bronsted-Lowry acid. This will be your conjugate acid and conjugate base. Okay? Next. Now, this particular formula, hindi nyo yan gagamitin for solving. Later tayo magko-compute. Ang sinasabi ko lang dito is you familiarize with the term acid dissociation constant. So, this is based on the equilibrium constant for the ionization and dissociation of an acid and equilibrium constant for the reaction of your weak acid with water. The main species involved will be your weak acids. And this is also one of the basis for Henderson-Hasselbalch reaction, no, which is also tinatanong during board exams. Okay? And ito naman yung kabaliktaran. So, it's just the same thing. However, instead of acid, it is your base. So, it's just your base. And the main species involved is your conjugate base or strong base. Now, ito na yung main topic and ready your scientific calculators. So, you might ask the question, sir, what is pH? There is no exact written written etiology of the letter P. Pero in other books and the consensus of the chemistry community, it is power, sabi nila. No? Pero walang official na sa letter P na yan. So, it's the power of your hydrogen ions, kaya H, or, sino kasi yung kasulad niya? It's your hydronium ion concentration. So, pag sinabing pH, we're measuring yung strength, no? Or yung power ng hydronium ion concentration or hydrogen ion concentration of a particular substance. Now, please look at the formula. So, to check pH, gagawin mo lang is negative logarithm. So, itatype mo sa calculator mo is yung hindi yung minus sign, no? Yung ganito sa taas. Yan. That's negative. And then, pindutin mo yung logarithm. In other scientific calculator, shift and then logarithm. Yung iba naman, meron na tayong dedicated button for logarithm. Yung iba naman, shift and then may specific na pipindutin para makuha yung logarithm, I suggest we go check your calculators. Pag hindi nyo nakukuha yung mga tamang sagot, then we are going to check your calculator um, in person, no? Para talagang ma-check natin ng tama. Okay? Pero ganito yan usually in the common calculators. Negative and then logarithm. Tapos, you just type in yung hydronium ion concentration na given or yung hydrogen ion concentration na given. Okay? So that is for your pH. Next is your paano naman if the question is hydrogen ion concentration or hydronium ion concentration? So, simple lang. You just type in 10. Tapos, exponent or yung ganyan na button or yung exponent, no? Yung i-type in nyo yung negative, sorry, tanggalin ko. Exponent and then type in the negative and then sulat nyo na yung given na pH. Okay? So, ganun lang kasimple guys, no? Ulitin ko. If it is, pag hinahanap is pH, then negative logarithm of the given value. Kapag naman hinahanap is hydrogen ion or hydronium ion concentration, 10, and then yung exponent sign, no? Either ganito or ganito. And then press negative, tapos type in the pH. Okay? So, ganun lang simple. On the other hand, we also have pOH. So, baliktarin mo lang. So, if pH is measuring the hydrogen ion or the hydronium ion concentration, when we say pOH, we talk about the hydroxide ion concentration. Okay? So, main topic nun is the OH. So, it's just similar thing, negative, logarithm, tapos yung given na hydroxide ion concentration if we're looking at the pOH. If ang given naman is the pOH and it's looking for hydroxide, then 10 raised to negative, tapos yung given na pOH. So, it's just a similar concept. Ang difference lang is ano yung hinahanap and ano yung given. Okay? So, ganun po siya. Next. Now, how do we compute what if integral naman yung ating scientific notation? By the way, these are scientific notations, no? Dapat familiar na kayo dyan. Okay? So, this is your coefficient, itong 1.0. And exponent, yung maliit na naka-superscript. Okay? So, pag sinabing integral, when we say integral, therefore, the coefficient is 1. Okay, matik na yon, 1. Therefore, kahit hindi ka na mag-compute, you just look at the exponent value and that is your pH. Okay, sige. You can try to compute muna para to check your calculator. You try to compute negative, try nyo to, logarithm, and then type in 1.0 exponent negative 7. Sige nga, you pause and try to assess ano ang kanyang sagot. And if your answer is 7 instead of 6, then tama yung inyong calculator. Kung naging 6 yan, then may mali kayong pinipindot. And we can check it during our face-to-face discussions. Okay? So, it's 7. So, again, kapag integral siya or the coefficient is 1, then just look at the exponent. Then that's the answer. You don't need to compute. Now, if it is non-integral, or if the coefficient is not 1.0, then the pH will have non-integral value. Okay, ibig sabihin, hindi siya absolute value. So, talagang magko-compute ka. Hindi mo yan pwedeng tignan lang yung exponent value. So, for example, you have your 5.2 times 10 raised to negative 8. Okay? Hindi mo pwedeng sagutin na negative 8 because hindi naman 1 or 1.0 yung coefficient mo. Therefore, gagawin mo yung negative logarithm of 5.2 times 10 raised to negative 8. Okay? So, wait lang. Pause natin. Try to compute. Okay? So, if your answer is 7.228, then you're correct. Okay? Ganun lang kasimple. Negative logarithm nung given na value. Okay? Next. So, this is your logarithm scale foundations. Tandaan nyo, every time kaya siya tinawag na logarithm because there is 10 times change in each concentration. So, sobrang layo ng difference ng pH na 1 because that's 1.0 times 10 raised to negative 1 sa pH na 2 because that's 1.0 times 10 raised to 2, negative 2. So, ilan yan? That's your 1. This is your 0.1. So, kung 14 yan, kung ang pH niya is 14, imagine niyo sobrang daming zero nun. Diba? Bago makapunta dun sa 1. So, ganun kalayo ang difference. Therefore, the higher or the higher the hydronium ion concentration, the lower the pH. Okay? Just remember that. So, kapag pH 14 ka na, uy, taas na ng pH niya. So, ganun karaming zero niya. So, ganun kaliit yung hydronium ion concentration niya. Now, another formula na kailangan nyo yung tandaan is that we have the pH plus pOH, no? Which is equal to 14, which was already discussed earlier dun sa self-ionization ng water or autoprotolysis of water. Since pH is pH of water is 7 and pH of water is pOH of water is 7, ang equal niyan is 14. Now, so paano mo i-convert ang pH from pOH? So, if the given is pOH, therefore 14 minus pOH, and that is your pH. And if the given is pH and you want to convert it with pOH, sorry, it's 14 minus the pH. Okay? So, ngayon, pwede mo na siyang balibalik na rin. If hinahanap is pH, sorry. Baliin mo natin. Purihin. Yan. So, kunwari, meron kang given na hydronium ion or hydrogen ion concentration. Ano yung magiging sagot mo pag negative logarithm ka? The answer is the pH. So, ngayon, paano mo i-convert yan into pOH? So, simple lang, minus 14 and then you'll get the 14 minus the pH And then you'll get the POH. Diba? So dito, negative logarithm. On the other hand, if the given is hydroxide ion, makukuha mo yan using negative logarithm. But kung gusto mo i-convert yan into pH, then yung answer mo dito, tapos 14 minus POH. So, ganyan lang kasimple guys. No? So, during the exams, there might be, for quiz, no? There might be complete a table. Then, ganun siya. Okay? So, if nalilito kayo, don't hesitate to email me para we can try to address your problems dyan. Okay? Pero much better if we have face-to-face so that we can also try to do that. No? Okay, next. Yeah, so this is an example of your integral. Since it's 1.0, then just look at the exponent. Okay, next. So these are the examples, no? So, pwede nyong wag munang tignan yung mga answer and you try to compute it on your own. And then, try to convert it. No? So, from pH, try nyo nga i-convert to into POH. And for the other example, try to convert it into pH. Okay? So, we can pause and try to answer. And if you're done, let's proceed with the next next set of examples. Okay, again, try to answer it on your own. Ayan, may mga sagot na siya eh, pero try nyo munang sagutin siya on your own. And then, if you obtain the similar answer, no? So, therefore, you're on the right path. So, tsaka tama din yung calculators ninyo. Okay? So, you can pause to try to answer, but if you're done, okay na. Okay, next. Next. It's just the same thing, no? So, okay na yan. And this one, sige. Hindi ko bibigay yung mga correct answers, man. But you can pause the video and try to answer this. Hindi na rin natin gagawing assignment yan since some of the students ginagawa nila yung assignment nila dun sa mismong due date, no? Kaya nawawala yung sense or yung objective ng assignment is for you to learn. Ginagawa na lang nila for compliance, no? So, wala yung essence ng learning dun. So, di wala din na siya assignment. So, you try to do it on your own na lang. Okay? You treat it as if it's an activity. Ayun. Okay? And next, again, if nahirapan kayo or nalilito kayo, just ask questions. By the way, ayan, no? A solution is known to have a pH of 4.7. What is the hydronium ion concentration? Diba? So, guys, simple lang yan. Yan yung 10. Pag given is pH, may hinahanap hydronium. So, 10 raised to negative 4.57. And that's your answer. And dapat it's in scientific notation, ha? You convert your your computed value into a scientific notation para tanggapin siya. Okay? And next, weak acid, pH computations. Skip na natin to guys. Hindi natin i-compute to. Ito ay gagawin nyo during your ANACHEM. At the same time, this one also, ANACHEM. Okay? So this is how do we interpret pH values. The higher the concentration of hydrogen ion, pinakita ko kanina, the lower the pH value. Please remember that. And a change of 1 unit in pH always corresponds to a tenfold change in hydronium ion concentration. So, mas tumataas yung value ng pH, mas bumababa yung hydronium ion concentration. On the other hand, mas tumataas yung value ng pOH, mas bumababa naman yung value ng hydroxide ion concentration. Okay? It's it's a um, um, inversely uh, inversely proportional relationship. Okay? Okay, so if you're going to look at it, um, mas mataas na hydronium ion concentration, mas mababa yung pH. And pag, ayan, no? And kapag naman mas mataas, to, look at sa baba, yung hydroxide ion concentration, mas mababa yung pOH. Okay? And pag mas mataas yung hydrogen ion concentration, mababa yung hydroxide ion concentration. Okay? Kapag naman mas mababa yung hydrogen ion concentration, mas mataas yung hydroxide ion concentration. Okay? Please familiarize with the relationship of all of this. And sana equivalence point ng lahat ng yan, ito po, 7, nasa gitna. Next is the acid-base strength classification. When we talk about strong versus weak, it is measured to the extent of proton transfer. If completely na-transfer niya yung hydrogen ions niya sa product, therefore it's strong. Kapag naman may naiwan pa na hydrogen ions, no, dun sa product side, okay, therefore it's a uh, weak acid or base. When we talk about concentrated and diluted naman, pag concentrated, it's the pure compound. It's the pure concentration of the compound. When you say diluted, that's when you add water. So pag acid yan, dinilute mo, it becomes more basic. Okay? On the other hand, when that's base, nilagyan mo water, no, or you dilute mo, it's becoming, or the pH is going towards the acid. So here are some of your strong acids and strong bases. Please familiarize, no? And yung mga pangalan nila. And next, our topic is your physiological buffers. Okay? So, what are buffers? So, pag sinabing buffer, this is also one of your experiment, di ba? Yung using of buffer, yung ammonium acetate. So, a buffer is an aqueous solution containing substances that prevent major changes in a solution pH. So, ang ginagawa nila is to maintain a particular pH when added to the solution. So, kinokontrol nila or they resist changes on the pH. That's why when we are checking your results, no, kapag walang changes ng pH, therefore, gumana yung buffer. No? Or tama yung pag-check nyo ng pH strip. Okay? So, meron kang compound, linagyan mo ng buffer solution, even though lagyan mo yan ng strong acid or ng strong base, the pH would not change. Okay? So, ganun ang buffer. So, a buffer solution resists or prevents changes and maintain the pH of a solution at a constant and predetermined level. And it's prepared from a conjugate acid base pair. Ayun. Tingnan. Tandaan nyo yan. Okay? So, a buffer system is the substance to react with and remove added base. Substance to react with and remove added acid. So, ang composition niya is a weak acid and conjugate base. Skip this one. Yan. So, let's proceed to this topic. Physiological reference ranges. Please be familiar, no? Kasi we're talking about clinical level na dito. Kasi nga, we are medical professionals. So, ito po yung mga pH na important in our program. No? Specifically ito, blood plasma. Ilan po dapat siya? Please take note. It's 7.35 to 7.45. So, pag mas bumaba yan, mas nagiging acidic yung dugo mo. Pag mas tumaas yan, mas nagiging alkaline or mas nagiging basic yung dugo mo. And these are the buffer systems. So later naman, in the next slide, we'll have a focus on that. And that is now. Yan. Now, we have three main physiological buffer networks. And you'll tackle this in your biochemistry as well as clinical chemistry in the future. No? The first one and the primary extracellular fluid and is the main foundational concept for your Henderson-Hasselbalch computation in the future, no? It's your bicarbonate system. So this involves your carbonic acid and bicarbonate. Kaya nga siya tinawag na bicarbonate system. Okay? So it regulates dynamically by your pulmonary respiratory rate. Pwedeng excretion ng carbon dioxide and also your renal bicarbonate retention or yung kidneys mo. So, ang involved dito, ayan, lungs tsaka yung kidneys mo. Okay? Next, you have your phosphate system. So, ito naman, involved dito is your dihydrogen and monohydrogen phosphate. No? So, this is your phosphate. So, dito naman, instead of extracellular, they are on intracellular buffers. No? By the way, guys, tandaan nyo, a slight change of your pH, drastic na yung pangyayari sa'yo. That's why we have what we call bodily homeostasis or equilibrium. Diba? Kailangan your body systems are always in a constant balance. Ganun papasok yung importansya or yung relevance or yung significance of these buffer systems. Okay? So next, we have your protein buffer system, the last one. It accounts for nearly 30% of your total blood buffering capacity. It relies on the amphoteric imidazole rings of your histidine residues. Itong mga to, more on biochemistry. No? So, you're going to delve deeper here. Mga amino acids, mga proteins, mga enzymes, and etc. Okay? And next, yeah, this is your Henderson-Hasselbalch. So, this is the actual formula of, one of the formula that you're going to need to memorize, especially during your board exam. So, sir, ang hirap. Sa third year nyo na lang gawin yon. Sa ngayon, just familiarize, no? Hindi ko pa ipapakompute yan, yung formula na yan. Don't worry, guys, no? Doon muna tayo sa mga basics ng pH, hydronium ion, hydroxide ion, POH, no? In terms of Henderson-Hasselbalch, I just want you to understand na this is how we compute the pH in the blood, no, or in the arterial blood. So, Ayan, 6.1, it's the pKa ng ating dugo plus the logarithm of, ito po, conjugate base, yung sa taas, yung bicarbonate, and the weak acid sa baba, which is your partial carbon dioxide, partial pressure of the carbon dioxide times 0.03. Okay? So, ano bang trabaho ng Henderson-Hasselbalch? So, it calculates the resulting pH of a buffer system based on the quantitative ratio ng conjugate base tsaka ng weak acid. Again, ginagamit yung concept ng Bronsted-Lowry theory. Okay? So, it monitors the blood carbonic acid levels indirectly via partial pressure of your carbon dioxide. And kapag nakuha nyo yung computation, this is the interpretation. No? So, it can be respiratory acidosis, metabolic acidosis. Acidosis can be seen by looking at the pH. Pag mababa sa 7.35, then that's acidosis. Pag sinabi namang alkalosis, of course, mas mataas sa 7.45. In terms of respiratory or metabolic siya, nakadepende na yan which one is elevated during the computation. No? And of course, since hindi ko naman siya ipapakompute ngayon, kapag nag-third year na lang kayo, then doon nyo na lang malalaman paano siya specifically ma-differentiate and what is the compensatory response mechanism. So for now, ito muna yung aaralin nyo. Pag bumaba sa normal value, then that's acidosis. Pag mataas, that's alkalosis. Just to give you an idea kung gaano siya ka-importante, if you recall, there are patients na dinadala sa ER na nagpa-panic attack. And anong ginagawa sa kanila? Di ba binibigyan ng tawag doon? Hindi plastic, paper bag. Di ba? Pag nahihirapan silang huminga. So, drawing tayo. Ayan, tao yan. Tapos may paper bag siya. Yan, ganyan. So, bakit siya binibigyan ng paper bag? It's because para tumaas yung carbon dioxide niya. Okay? So, bakit pinapataas yung carbon dioxide niya? Kapag kasi nag-hyperventilate ka, labas ka ng labas ng carbon dioxide. Therefore, bumababa yung carbon dioxide mo and nagiging alkaline yung dugo mo. Okay? So, nakikita nyo yung kanyang significance, no? So, ginagawa, ang pinakapaunang lunas is paper bag para mag-increase yung carbon dioxide. So, guys, may may scientific reason kaya binibigyan kayong paper bag. So, that is one of the relevance ng paper bag na yon in terms of your acid base. Okay? I think that's it. So, this final topic naman po will be discussed in your laboratory. No? So, skip na rin natin. So, I think that's it. So, please prepare for a quiz next week. Okay? So, if you're asking sino-sino yung mga yan, i-search nyo na lang, hanapin nyo anong sino yung mga yan. Okay? So, again, if you have any other questions and any queries regarding the topic natin today, I know it's complex, no? Pero dapat by now, you are really capable na or you have already adapted na kung paano yung college, no? But then again, we go back to my first statement kanina na kapag di nyo kaya, it's okay to step back, no? Just make sure na to communicate with other people, no? And if you have questions regarding the topic, don't hesitate to ask me or ask your classmates any questions. Okay? And of course, my email din naman is laging open so you can ask questions there. No? Na may kinalaman sa lecture. Pag walang kinalaman dun, tapos yung mga questions nyo can be seen naman in the announcements or in orientation, during orientation, no? Then, don't expect na magre-respond ako. Pero if the question is regarding lecture discussion, o kaya magtatanong kayo about your grades, no? Or you want um tips, no? Sige, you can ask questions like that. Okay? Basta logical. Okay? So, that's it. Again, prepare for a quiz next week. And, of course, yung calculators nyo dapat ready rin next week. And that's it. I thank you and God bless.